Hey guys, it's Paul Mayer here. I've got a fun turning project for you today. It's a big walnut platter. Started out with a 21-inch blank, finished out to about 20.5 inches. What was, I guess, unique to me about this project, I've turned a lot of bowls and I've turned some plates. Never done a plate this big, or a platter this big, and also never done one with a flat bottom all the way across. So that is, kind of presents an interesting challenge to keep that nice and flat. You'll see me checking it along the way with a straight edge, so that's a good technique to help kind of measure where you're at. The eye doesn't always shoot you straight when you're eyeballing something like that, but it's a good straight edge will help. But anyway, very fun project. Hope you'll give it a try, and please feel free to ask any questions you want down below. And for now, let's go ahead and dive in and get started. All right, before I dive in and start turning, let me get you caught up to where we're at here so far. So what I've done is glued up some 8/4 walnut planks. I've got a blank that's 20.5 inches in diameter. And I'm going to just go through your typical kind of bowl turning sequence. Even though this is a serving tray and it'll be a lower profile, I'm going to make it round in diameter. I got it pretty close on the bandsaw, but I'm going to get it perfect now on the lathe. And I'll spin around and I'll form a tenon, and I will then determine the size of the base and shape that, and then I'll sweep up the sides and give the bottom just a little bit of lift. And kind of take advantage of the thick 8/4 profile that we have. So it'll be a little bit taller than a typical serving platter. But let me just get set up. I'm working with dry lumber, so it's really nice to use the ventilated shield because it is a little bit, quite a bit more dusty than working with green timber. But this is something that I need to do in one swoop. I don't have time to do a double turn, let it dry, return it, etc. because it's a wedding gift that is, or a retirement gift for that's coming up here within a month. So got to get it done and stable right away. So I'm going to use dry lumber for that. But anyway, let's make some chips. Right now I'm going to establish the size of the foot. Now what I generally do, and this varies a bit from bowl to bowl, but I usually go for roughly a 60% of the size of the overall diameter of the bowl to be the foot. So that would mean for a approximately 20-inch, 60% of that it would be 12-inch. So I'm going to mark for a 12-inch foot size. Oops, missed a little bit there. Not a problem. that's about the profile that I was looking for, and everything is kind of on track. So I'm going to do a bit of sanding, get this all cleaned up, and then I will check the fit of the tenon in my chuck. And assuming that's all good, I'll dismount, remove the faceplate, flip it around, and we'll scoop out the inside. All right, I've got it chucked up and flipped around, and I'm ready to start working on the inside of the bowl now, or platter. And so what I'm going to do is just face off a few inches here, and then I'm going to establish the rim size, which I think I'm going to go for 2 inches, and then mark that cleanly, and then I'll start scooping out the inside. All right, yeah, I think 2 inches looks about right. That'll leave me about 16 inches of serving area, which I think will be good. Don't want to be too aggressive here, just kind of want to sneak up on it. All right, that's getting pretty close. Pretty consistent all the way across the middle. Now I just need to sweeten up on the outside a little bit. All right, you may have noticed I used a square scraper. I really wanted to get in that corner kind of crisply. Be careful if you use that. It's kind of a grabby tool, but it does a nice job of getting into that corner nicely. All right, and that is really pretty close. I'm gonna try and tweak that just a little bit more, and but I'm about ready to call that kind of shaped at this point. Feeling really good about it. I think the proportions are just right. I ended up using the full 2-inch thickness, and I'm really glad that I glued up a 2-inch thick blank. I think for a 20-inch platter, it really needed that thickness to have the proportion that I was looking for to kind of elevate it up off of the table. So what I'm going to do next is flip it around, and I'm going to pull out a vacuum chuck and set it up using the vacuum chuck. If you don't have a vacuum chuck, and probably more turners don't than do, no big deal. You can set up a jam chuck of some sort, and basically what I'm going to do is remove the tenon and clean up the bottom a little bit, and then that's really all I'm going to do with the jam chuck. Then I'll sand and move to the finishing stage. that about wraps this one up. Really fun project for me. I've been wanting to make one of these for a long time, and it was really satisfying to finally check this off my list. I may make another one, who knows. It was that much fun. So a couple of lessons learned for me. One, you may have noticed that I switched along the way from a traditional bowl gouge to a carbide insert gouge. I really found that helped me get kind of the surface finish on that totally flat bottom. That really worked well for me. So I do have a bowl bottom gouge. I tried that as well, and that worked, but I just, for whatever reason, I found that carbide really did the trick for me. So that was a kind of a neat thing, and then that I found that the finish just laid down so nicely on here, which I've used that stuff a lot. I really like it, but it gave a perfect finish on this walnut for me. So with that, please feel free to ask any questions that you might have down below, and I'll do my best to answer them. And if you're into turning, make sure to check out Ashley Harwood's new channel. She's just getting started on YouTube. She's a phenomenal turner, and I think you'll find a lot of good, helpful tips there. I know I'll be watching that. And also, of course, Carl Jacobson is fantastic, so check out what he's got going over there. And I hope you'll subscribe to the Tool Metrics channel for more wood turning, woodworking, DIY, and tool-related videos, and thanks for watching.